Hello, I am Jamila McMallow, and I'm a mindset coach for Type A women executives and established business owners. I help my clients to create accelerated results in their life, relationships, and career or business. I am getting into part 2 of this 5-part series that I've put together on navigating through a slump in your business. Okay. So let's get into it. If you are watching live, please comment below so I can give you a shout out. And also, if you're watching the replay, please hashtag replay so I can know that you are here. Also, if you yourself are a Type A woman, you are welcome to book a call with me and we can talk about how I may be able to support you in reaching your goals. All right. So yesterday I talked about in part 1, I talked about the breakthrough, right? So you've experienced this rapid success in your business, right? Because again, I'm talking to my audience is Type A women who are high achievers, high performers, whatever it is, however you want to define yourself, but you're someone who gets accelerated results. You create results, you move very quickly. And so when you have had rapid success in your business, and you come upon a slump, a time where maybe your sales start to dip, you're not, adding new clients, whatever the case is, it can really cause you to start to question yourself. And so yesterday I talked about how it's so important that you have the breakdown so that you can have the breakthrough. And one of the challenges for Type A women is to allow that breakdown. So busy trying to just hang on and keep holding on when it's like, you got to let it go and allow yourself to feel the feelings and acknowledge them so that they can go. So I would encourage you, if you have not, that you take a look at that one, because each one of these is going to build on the next. Okay. So today's portion, part 2, we're going to be talking about how the slump happened, right? Because here's the thing. Business is what it is, right? But if you can understand what happened, then you can do your best to prevent it from happening again. So one of the things that I'm not talking about as a causation for the slump in your business is burnout. That's not what I'm talking about at all. When we burn ourselves out, it's because we are operating out of integrity with who we really are. Okay, I'm going to say that again for you. When we experience burnout, it is because we are operating outside of integrity of who we really are. Meaning we're trying to be someone else. We're trying to do things or behave in a way or have an identity that we have not put on yet. And so we keep doing and doing and doing until we, go back to who we really are. So I'm not talking about burnout being the causation for a slump in your business, although it very well could be. Because if you're operating out of integrity and you're running a business that you hate, just simply based on skills and your ability to sell and get clients or whatever, but you're not really thrilled about what you're doing or how you're doing it, that is a completely different story. Okay. So one of the things that can cause us to experience a slump in our business is not continuing to do the things that work. Okay. What happens is when we get to a certain level of success, all of a sudden it's kind of like we start going squirrel and we kind of start looking around, for like, okay, well, maybe I want to try this or maybe I want to do that. And it's like, wait a minute, you just got really great traction in your business. Consistently continue to do those things. Don't stop. Don't stop. Keep doing that. But again, sometimes we get there and we think, oh, it's on autopilot. And then we start looking around. And I know I was guilty of that, start trying to put too many irons in the fire, start trying to be on too many platforms, just starting to do too many things versus continuing to keep your foot on the gas pedal of what is actually working. Okay. If all your clients come from Facebook and you've had an excellent, phenomenal year on Facebook, it's not the time to go all in on LinkedIn yet. Continue to build that, create sustainability, and then, you can start to add to that. And, it's a big thing because as we are evolving, right, we're all on our own personal development journey. If you're an entrepreneur and you're not doing personal development, then I don't know what to tell you, because your business is only going to expand as much as you expand. But sometimes what can happen is, because we are evolving, because we are elevating, because we are transforming, we seem to think that all of a sudden that means that we need to transform our services, we need to transform our business, we need to evolve. Listen, the only thing that ever is truly changing is the caliber of client that you are attracting, because you attract who you are being. So as you elevate yourself, you're going to attract a higher caliber of client. But that client has the same problem, has the same problem, whatever it is. And so that part, sometimes we forget. I was guilty of that too. Okay. I went through the slump, and this was one of the mistakes that I made. I can help a woman heal her childhood trauma with my eyes closed. I can do that like it's no daddy issues, mommy issues, ex-husband issues, whatever. I've had clients that have dealt with molestation by multiple people. I've had clients who've been abandoned by parents. I have had clients who have just experienced all kinds of horrendous things, and we have been able to move through all of those things very quickly. So I can do that. And specifically, the things that relate to their relationships with how they see themselves, and their their relationships with men and money. Okay. But that money portion, that business portion, all of that's kind of like a happy side effect, right? Really, a lot of my clients come to me because of their challenges in their relationships with men. And that is one of the biggest problems that what I do solves. And so I stopped speaking into that, because I'm like, I've grown past it, whatever, and not understanding that that it's not about me in that sense. I am continuing to elevate and transform. Yes, I am continuing to call in a higher caliber of client. And when I say caliber, I mean more committed, more whatever. Whoever, where I'm at, you attract who you're being. And so what I'm saying is, but she still has the same problem. We all just have the same problems, just on a different level. And so if you are doing that, that could be a reason why you're experiencing a slump, is you have moved away from the one problem that you solve really, really well. You can do it with your eyes closed. It's super easy. And sometimes what happens is you feel like, well, I don't want to do that anymore. You feel like you have to graduate to something, more whatever. And you lose traction with your audience. You lose traction with your clients, because they don't understand what you're talking about. So one of the things that we have to understand as business owners, as entrepreneurs, and especially as coaches, is our personal development journey, our transformational journey is our own, it's personal. Okay. Yes, it allows us to show up and be a better coach for our clients. Yes, it allows us to take our clients even deeper and further on their journey, but they are not on it with us. We got to meet them where they are. And if you're not meeting them where they are, and you're speaking in all these elevated terms of where you're at now, you're going to lose them. Okay. Just remember, you elevate, and that's who you're being, and automatically going to attract women who are being like on that same level, vibe, whatever, but they still have the same problem, the one that you solve with your eyes closed. So that could be a reason for the slump, is that you have gotten away from speaking into the one problem that you solve really well, the one problem that all your clients were showing up to you for. It is not a lower level problem. It is the problem is the problem. It's just the person who has it is a different person. Okay, if that makes sense. Now, one of the biggest reasons why you may be experiencing a slump in your business, and this actually, yes, I was speaking into all those things, but the real reason, the biggest reason, hey, Myrna, thank you so much for tuning in. The biggest reason why I experienced a slump in my business is because I experienced a tremendous amount of success financially in a very short period of time. And what happened was I hit my internal limits financially. And so I want to explain to you like this. When I started working with my coach, she used the idea of a thermostat, a receiving thermostat. And then I was watching a video by John Assaraf. You may have heard of him. but he talked about that internal thermostat. When you think about the way a thermostat works, right? You have a set temperature. If the temperature is set, and if it gets too cold, then the heat comes on. If it gets too hot, then the AC comes on to keep it at that temperature. And so my internal financial set point or thermostat, whatever degree that was set on, I had exceeded it very quickly. And guess what the thermostat did? Oh, it's getting too hot in here. Let's bring that cold air right on down. Slowed it right on down. Slowed it right on down so that I stayed at that internal thermostat. Now, that is one of the most frustrating realizations to come to, because when you're an entrepreneur, you're always working through your money blocks and you're thinking, ooh, I'll solve my problem. It's rolling in, I'm doing so good and whatever. It is the same. Remember I talked about previously, your client, higher caliber, same problem. You, higher caliber, same problems. Money, it's just like an onion. You're just peeling back the layers. You're just at a new level. You're just at a different level of it. And so when you are dealing with that internal thermostat and you've exceeded it, it's going to yank you back. And what happens is you start to feel extremely frustrated. You start to feel extremely angry. You start to feel like you're beating your head against a brick wall. You're like, why isn't anything working? I don't understand. People were just signing up. All this stuff was happening and you can't figure it out. That's what's going on. So when we talk about prevention, okay, and when we talk about understanding how the slump happened, this is a part of what's going on inside. And I'm not speaking in absolutes because maybe it was some other reason, but for purposes of this particular series and training that I'm getting into, because I'm a mindset coach, I'm going to get into what's going on in here as the reason for the slump in your business, because I'm speaking not just from something I read in a book, but I'm speaking from my own experience. This is what I went through. Okay. And so what I want you to understand is that until you raise that internal thermostat, you will always be yanked back. You will always be yanked back. You will get a lot of money and you'll spend it. Get a lot of money, you'll lose it. You'll get a lot of clients and money, and all of a sudden you don't have any clients or money. And it's because this hasn't changed. Okay. And so when you understand that, oh, that's what's going on, then you don't have to get so upset. You don't have to get so frustrated. Now you understand why nothing you're doing is working, is because your mind is going, I don't know what you think you're doing. I'm doing my job. I'm keeping us safe. I'm keeping the temperature right where it's supposed to be. So you just need to calm down and take several seats. So then what needs to happen? Well, of course, we've got to raise that internal thermostat. We've got to do some things differently, right? And so, but the main thing for the purposes of this part 2 is that you have to acknowledge and understand that that's what's going on. You just hit your upper limit. That's it. That's why you hit the slump. Now, let's say all things being equal, right? That you are still showing up, that you are still doing all the things that you haven't stopped, and you're just like, oh, I'm just going to chill, whatever. Okay. If you're not doing any work, that's going to cause a slump. But if you, like I said, if you're doing all the things that you had been doing, and then all of a sudden things aren't working and it's not happening, and you have been experiencing this success and you're like, this is highly suspect and suspicious. What's going on? It's going on inside of you. Okay. And so that is what's happening. And what you have to do is that internal work to raise that internal thermostat so that you're able to receive greater financial, income, and even how you measure success. That thermostat is tied to how you measure success, how successful you're allowed to be. And it's linked to the conditioning that you received as a little girl, the messaging that you received from your community, your culture, your family, etc., and even your own childhood trauma. What did your parents say about money? Did you grow up with a single mom and money was always scarce? Were you guys always struggling? All of those things affect that internal thermostat. And anytime you exceed it, it's going to go ahead and regulate itself and bring you right on back down. Okay. So I want to thank you so much for popping on live. If you're here, please give me a shout out in the comments so I can say what's up and give you a shout out. And if you are going to be watching the replay, like I said, drop a hashtag replay so I also will know that you were here. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments as well, because I'm here live. So I'm here to answer anything that you might be wondering about on this particular topic and this particular point that I'm discussing. But it's important that we understand this. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Myrna. It's important that we understand this, right? It's important that we understand this because as type A women, we have a tendency to just want to continue to do all the things. We have a tendency to want to keep staying in futile action instead of addressing the emotional reasons, the mindset reasons that are causing the setback. Okay. Now, the other thing that I really don't want you to do either is to get so frustrated and angry that you just stop and you pull back and you start questioning yourself and you start thinking, oh, maybe I need to do this differently. Oh, maybe I don't want to do this anymore. No. That's not going to help you move the thermostat. It's not going to help you get past it, break past it. Because whether you stay a coach or whatever this business is, and you go on to do something else, that this hasn't changed. And so you have to deal with it. It's gonna keep on showing up. Doesn't matter what you do. And so you have to deal with that. And then once you break through that, you won't be held back anymore until you reach your next upper limit. But by then you'll know and you'll be able to recognize it. And that's what this video is about, is really shining a light on it so now you can understand what's going on. Okay. So tomorrow in part 3, I'm going to be talking about moving out of contraction and fear. Because when we stop making money, when we see our sales slowing down, we start doing this, right? And so how do we go from this scared place of feeling like everything is lacking and not working and all that to allowing ourselves to get back into expansion? And so that's what I'm going to be digging into tomorrow. Okay, I'm just going to look here and see. So I don't see any questions in the comments. All right. So stay tuned for tomorrow. Like I said, this is a 5-part series. Tomorrow is part 3. And be sure to book your call with me. The link is in the description for this video. And I look forward to speaking with you one-on-one. And other than that, I will see you tomorrow on the next topic. All right. Take care.